What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy the D here, aka the captain of the Thunder God Pirates, aka excited for One Piece Film Red, aka whelmed for episode 1000 of the One Piece anime. Those last two topics I'm probably going to talk about sometime this upcoming week. Fuck, I don't know, I might. But I just want to welcome you back to another of our weekly One Piece chapter reviews, and in case you are waiting, we're waiting on my recaps for My Hero Academia and Black Clover. I haven't forgot about them. I've just had a lot going on, so I haven't been able to do them. But yet again, like and comment, because I love to interact with y'all. I really do. I really do enjoy, when y'all watch my videos and want to talk to me. I really do enjoy that. Also, subscribe if you want to be, A, if you like what you hear. B, if you want to be, goodness, damn, lost my words. But if you want to be notified when I post videos, which is kind of regular currently, but don't worry, I got some ideas for the channel. But anyway, yet again, today we got One Piece chapter 1032. It's not a bad chapter. I don't think we've had literally like a bad chapter in a long time. But it's like it's here. It's there. Well, it's not here. It's there. But yeah, it's here. It's present. I saw some people like there was an information overload. Like, oh my god, what about this, that, and the third? I'm like, I read the chapter. It's cool, but I don't know if motherfuckers were like, this is the end all be all greatest chapter. I don't see it. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into our discussion. One Piece chapter 1032, Odin's beloved blade. Okay, so starting off chapter, we pick up with Marco and Izo, who Marco says that he has an injured man on his back. I'm wondering who that is. It could be I think it's Kinemon. I think it's Kinemon. It could be Kinemon. I haven't reread the last chapter since I did the review on it, so I'm like, honestly, it was like 2 weeks ago. I probably should have did that. But anyway, I think that's Kinemon. But anyway, so him and Izo are running through on the chaos, but Izo's talking about the message earlier about the fire, so it looks like they're kind of looking for him. And then they, funny enough, even though we don't continue the battle with Big Mom, we see her, they run like right past her, and it's looking like she's pretty invested in the battle with Eustace and Law. Yes, didn't call him killer. Yes. But yeah, she's pretty invested in that battle because she is, it looks like she doesn't even notice they're there. So then we come to some of the Beast Pirates, and they're trying to get out. Look, pretty much thanks to Kanjuro's quote unquote dying spell, well dying technique, which yet again I don't think he's dead. If you watch the review, the review, well no, that wasn't even last week. That was 2 weeks ago. Jesus Lord, but more than 2 weeks ago. Anyway, but if you like, I'm kind of tired of the death fake, so I don't even think Kanjuro's dead. Like, I talked about it then. Anyway, so they're trying to get out, so they're bringing out cannons. They are trying to bust their way through the samurai resistance so they can get the hell out of there. Because yet again, I think beyond Yamato, nobody knows that, hey, that fire, if it touches the weapons, the items gonna blow up. Or, hey, if we drop this bitch on the flower capital, it's most likely gonna blow the fuck up. So anyway, we then cut over to the second basement level where Yamato was running, and then we had the remaining number, Apu and Drake. So Apu's still chasing behind this man like, hey young master, hear me out. Cause yet again, Apu is a certified bitch, and he's trying to convince, he's an opportunist. He's consistently trying to make sure he's on the winning team, so he switches sides like a hooker switches panties. Which, if you know what a hooker does, you know why they want to switch panties. Well, at least a good hooker. Anyway, So he's yet again trying to run after Yamato, like, hey, come listen to what the bullshit I'm peddling. Let me get on your good side. Which yet again makes sense, because yet again, it seems like Apu's worked for Kaido's crew for a while now, so he would definitely be acquainted with Yamato, at least to some degree. So anyway, Yamato is not stopping at all. He's like, look, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you got to say, but I'm really not in the mood. Well, I'm not in the position to listen to you right now. I got some shit going on. Please leave me alone. And then Drake running after, yet observing the situation, like, yo, have you not learned your lesson yet? Have you really not gotten the fact that this whole loyalty thing may be a detriment to your health? So then in the next panel, we see that Fuga, one of the remaining numbers, is running alongside him. And then it's funny, yet again, they're running past all of these beast pirates, the battle's still going on. So Yamato then looks over and she sees Fuga, and she's like, oh, Fuga, it's nice to see you again, but I'm kind of in a hurry. So it's looking like Yamato, even though Yamato and Kaido have their thing with them being yet again on two completely different sides of this whole conflict, she is pretty well acquainted with the crew. At least seemed like Fuga. So she knows. So of course, yet again, she's the rebellious daughter, and yet again, she knows everybody, and you'll see why. I say that in a minute. So we then cut up to where we see above Yamato, we see Robin and Brook falling from one of the higher floors. And then an announcement comes over the intercom. Announcement to all sectors from the second floor. The enormous fire monster is heading to the basement. So Yamato hears that, and she's like, huh? And then Robin and Brook fall on top of Fuga's hair, which Brook initially is like, it's a cushion. And then yet again, Brook, not being a fucking moron, is like, oh, this is hair. And he's like, whose hair is this? But as he notices that, the two Cypher Pole Aegis Zero agents who are following them come jumping down yet again to finish their business. So then as Robin and Brook prepare to fight, we see the fire apparition come down yet again. It's heading towards the basement. I think it was made to head to the basement to where the weapons are, so it can blow up the island to get back at Kaido. But it jumps down, or flops down. I don't think it can actually jump, right on top of them, coming towards the basement. So even on the intercom, they're like, hey, we don't know what it's doing, but its goal is to jump down. And then everybody who's down, they're like, oh shit, it's huge. Even those who weren't, present, they're like, oh, so that's the fire spirit they were talking about. And also, we see here that it looks like Fuga might be a centaur. Neat. So then, yet again, Yamato is like, oh, this is not good. And everybody, yet again, they're still confused about this, and it's passing through the walls and it's going lower yet again. So that's when Yamato is like she finally puts all the pieces together. If that thing keeps going lower, we're gonna be in trouble. And she's like, oh, that can't happen. And finally that she finally yells out, the entire island's gonna explode. And she turns to Fuga, is like, hey Fuga, I need your help. And Fuga is like, Fuga, he's happy. Yet again, it seems like she's pretty well acquainted with them. So we cut back to Nami and Robin. Well, not Nami and Robin. Not Nami. Brook and Robin, good God. Let me see, because yet again, Yamato and them keep running forward while Brook and Robin, kind of like they're moving away, but they're not moving as fast. Yet again, they don't know what the hell's going on. If they knew what was going on, they probably would move a little bit faster. But anyway, so they're like, okay, CP0 is on the other side of the flames, but they're not idiots. Like, okay, they're going to be there. This isn't going to put them down. They're going to come, which we then see, but with a bowler hat coming up the fire. And then Apu, doing his usual bitch shit, starts snapping. He's like, and he's looking on at them. He's like, oh, lapdogs of the celestial dragons. Spotted in Kaido's castle, what a scoop. And he's like, oh, well, I'll go ahead and give this to Morgan. She should pay big for this. And then he keeps talking shit. After losing their arms broker, Doflamingo, the government has finally stooped to. And then the guy in the bowler hat. Don't get in over your head. He shaves over and he hits Apu with a Shigan. It looks like to the throat. To which Apu is bleeding profusely and falls. And then dude in the bowler hat says, DS Drake, do you think we don't know who you are? And Drake is like, okay, then why don't you start with some excuses? And then the agent, he lunges at Drake with another Shigan, and he even tells him inconvenient truths are meant to be erased. But then, boom! Apu says as he gets up, not knocking the agent back. And he gets up, huffing and puffing like, damn these stupid government assassins. And Drake is like, oh, you're really still alive. Yet again, because I think it's pretty obvious. Nobody respects Apu. Because the way he acts, it's like, dog, if you were real, you would stick on a side. You would stick to some morals, some principles, hell, or even just stick to a side. But you don't, so it's looking pretty much like nobody respects him. And then he's like, yeah, I know about this little thing, you might have heard about it called armament hockey, you fucking moron. So then he's like, okay, they're gonna pay. And then he even goes to speak to Drake. He's like, so you're in the Navy, aren't you? And Drake's like, shut up. And then he turns, are you in or are you out? And then Apu's like, they started this fight, and which Drake is like, no, you did. And then Apu goes to kick the other agent, not the one who stabbed him. And then Drake turns into a full Allosaur to attack the guy in the bowler hat. And then Apu says, of course I'm in. All right. And then we cut to outside the dome where Zolo is still taking on King. Now, this is the weirdest shit ever. Like, Oda really gotta explain some shit with these dinosaurs, bruh. Like, cause this shit is nuttier than squirrel shit on a pecan pie. Here's the thing. So we cut to the battle. King, with his right arm, pulls back on the crest. He's in his full, leather gimped out pterodon form. He grabs the crest that's on his head, pulls it back, which essentially pulls his face back, and even Zoro is looking at this like, what the hell is he supposed to be doing that? And then, as his head's going taut, he starts speaking Imperial, and then flip, his head starts, going Deep Pride, and then Steak. So, okay, I'm not entirely sure how this move works. Here's my theory. Well, it could be one of two things. A, when he pulls back his head doesn't shoot off. It fires air pressure, which, hits the ground. Or it could be like fucking Queen, how Queen's tail and the neck are apparently one part, but then his body, his four legs and torso, or abdomen, whatever the fuck you would call that part, his main body, is actually a thing. So either King's firing his head, or he does that to fire the air pressure. And then Zoro, it looks like he dodges it barely. And he's like, man, what the? I don't even know how you're supposed to block that. That's a fucking, it's like a laser. So King continues to fly, and he goes on the chide Zoro. The pterodons of the ancient past hunted their prey just like this. Look, I love Oda, but I'm really hoping this motherfucker don't believe that. I obviously don't, but just for sake of the joke. Like, bruh, this man's take on dinosaurs. First Sasaki and the Helitriceratops, then Queen, which is probably the most egregious offender, then this shit. Okay, so Zoro, after that attack, he gets up. He's like, man, I had no idea. So then he unleashes a 360-pound phoenix, which it looks like King easily dodges. And so Zoro's running along the path. Looks like something's being shot at him, because the ground is like cracking. It seems like he's shooting fire. So Zoro's talking to him. So it's like, okay, I gotta figure out a way to land a hit. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be wearing myself out. So then he yells at to King. Okay, so I'm gonna guess here that the flame in your back is another feature of your pterodon devil fruit. And then King, you know, that's funny. This whole thing is kind of played like just a conversation. It's like, and King answers, no, it's not. And Zoro's like, wait, really? Okay, so Zoro's like, okay, fuck it. I'm getting really tired of this, so I gotta knock him down to the ground or this shit's never gonna end. Then he goes, 3-sword style. Black rope, dragon, twister. Catching King in a tornado made entirely out of vacuum slashes. And King then, he pretty much gets to like a fetal position using his wings to guard. So Zoro notices, like, okay, he's blocking the slashes with his wings. So yet again, like they're just talking to each other at this point. He's like, okay, so between the dragon and the dinosaurs, you motherfuckers just soak up damage like nobody's business, huh? So King then turns back into his regular form, because yet again, I was gonna say human form, but he's not a human. But he's like, yeah, true. But in my particular case, it goes even beyond that. So King then takes out his sword. He's like, fine, I'll give you a sword fight. I do enjoy a good duel. So Zoro's thinking in his head, like, okay, what the fuck is this? I've hit this man with a few slashes, yet he's not even bleeding yet. His wings move, yet again, talking about the wings in his normal form. So I know they're not ornamental, but I can't be sure that if he can use them to fly. Which, yes, he can. We've seen it. When he went after Sanji. Well, actually, no. No. I think in the anime, because that episode was like a week or two ago. I think in the anime he used them to fly, but I'm not sure if we've ever seen him fly in the canon of the story. So then he goes on. Like I said, they're sword fighting right now, and yet again they're trading blows. And he's like, okay, the flames keep burning on his back. He assumed they were part of his power, but apparently they're not. So Zoro's like, okay, what the fuck is he? Is he a fishman? Giant blood? It's like, nah. I'd been able to tell by now. I bet he's from some shit I don't even know. So then King eventually ends up overwhelming Zoro and pushing him back, shooting him into a rock behind him. So then Zoro eventually falls, like he hits the rock and then he falls down. He's like, okay, I gotta solve this, or else I'm not gonna be able to beat him. So Zoro is spent at this point. He fought Kaido. He's fighting King. Well, hold on, no. He fought getting up to Kaido. He fought Kaido. Now he's fighting King. So he's spent. He's fucking spent. Like, he's spent. He's spent. But anyway. So then Zoro's laying on the ground, flat on his back, with Enma in his right hand. He's huffing, he's puffing. But he's like, starts hearing something. A hissing sound. He's like, huh? What's that sound? And he's like, he thinks he hears a shamisen. He's like, no, that can't be right. So then a strange aura starts enveloping Enma, and then we see Zoro gets up and he gets up screaming, because when you look at it, it's like the first time he used Enma. Enma is starting to suck the hockey out of his body, and his right arm is looking emaciated. And Zoro says Enma is, but he's cut off, and we cut to the treasure repository room. And here we find out the sound Zoro was hearing wasn't Enma. Because even in the treasure repository room, Orochi's like, wait a minute, is that a shamisen? That's nonsense. Like, everybody's outside fighting. Why? Who the fuck would be playing a shamisen at this time of day? So he goes to the next room and he peeks open the sliding doors. Because, yet again, it's supposed to be, well, probably not dark, but it's not supposed to be like brightly lit. But it looks like, there's a fully lit room in the other room. So he peeks open the doors like, okay, if it's an enemy, do they even know I'm here? And then that's when his jaw drops and we see Komurasaki, and he rushes in because he doesn't know everything about her. He's like, oh, have I died and gone to heaven, or is this just a dream? And then she says, and then he says, since that terrible day, I have not spent a night without dreaming of you, my dear. I can't forget you. And she even, with a big ass smile on her face, neither can I, my lord. I am always by your side. And then with tears in his eyes, he says, if this is a dream, I don't want to wake up. And with that, chapter end. Like I said, not a bad chapter, but it's just here. I'm glad we're getting some more Zoro versus King, because that battle started awesome. But yeah, now with Komurasaki. Yeah, now with Komurasaki here. Because I was going to say, maybe it's somebody transformed. Like, no. Look, because if they can get little dongle girl, I think her name is Otama. If they can get Otama there, there's no fucking way a grown woman should be able to be there. And it makes sense because, she believes in them, but I think still, that was her father and mother this motherfucker killed. She wants her comeuppance. She wants his ass. So it lends to a theory. I think it was Tekken 101 who said something about it. Pretty much, everybody was like, no, man, Zoro's gonna kill Kaido or Zoro's gonna kill Orochi. No, that's not gonna happen. That was never gonna happen. If you believe that, you need to have your head examined. But anyway, yeah, like part of the theory, like, okay, and saying to kind of Tekken didn't believe it. He was just getting throwing theories like what could potentially happen, but no, Zoro killing Orochi, that was the most believable part of that. Because like Zoro's not killing Kaido. If you believe Zoro's killing Kaido, you got the game fucked up. But anyway, aside from that, so Tekken was talking about, look, Orochi might get killed like 8 times because he's a Yamato no Orochi, an 8-headed snake of legend. So in order for him to be killed, he probably has to be killed 8 times within a certain period. So you have to kill him like 8 times in the span of like, let's say 2-3 hours. Like within the span of 3 hours, you have to kill this nigga 8 times. So yeah, so we got one for Kaido. I think there was another one too. Didn't Kinemon kill him again? Okay, I know Kaido. I think maybe Kinemon. I'm not going back to look. I think it did. I might go back and look later. It's not gonna be in this video if I do go back and look. But no, I think she's gonna get this motherfucker. She's gonna do him dirty. And I'm ready for it. But anyway. Yeah, like I said, pretty dope chapter. Well, not dope. It's a pretty okay chapter. Yet again, it's moving things along. And I'm ready for this. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been your boy, the D20. Yet again, if you like what you heard, remember to like and comment. I love interacting with y'all. And also, if you like what you heard, you want to be notified when I upload videos, definitely hit that subscribe button and the bell notification, because apparently YouTube hates creators for whatever reason. But anyway, without further ado, this has been your boy, the D20, signing out. See ya.